Geeks. Tim Tibbetts with MajorGeeks.com. And today we're going to take a look at editing your privacy settings in Facebook and how your data could be getting shared and all those silly things. So let's take a look at the little arrow key up here. Now I would mention to you as we get going that sometimes Facebook likes to move stuff around, but what you're looking for, possibly under settings of all things, is apps and websites, not privacy. None of this stuff. Apps and websites. So you can take a look at what apps you've authorized Facebook to access your information. For example, you can see I have Candy Crush, Bands in Town, Gas Buddy, etc. Now what you can do is one of two things. Check a box if you know you don't want it. Check all the boxes if anything you don't want, and click remove. Over time, when you've been on Facebook for years and years, you could have dozens, hundreds of them in here you didn't even remember authorizing. So get in there and spend a few minutes and clean that crap out. Worst case, some of these have a view and edit, but they're often not worth much. For example, the information you provide to the app, the way I do it when it comes time, is to offer as little information as possible. So there's nothing I can change here. So, oh, it did let me uncheck my friends list. So there you go. See how this one's grayed out? So you cannot. Scroll on down. As you can see, you have your app visibility. This is where, let's say you did something monumental in Candy Crush. It's going to tell all your friends. So I always shut that off. I don't want to spam the page with that garbage. Whether the app can send you notifications. So this is nice for the handful of apps. It's all you really need to have here. And if you have any questions, here are links to how the permission settings work. And these will probably go to a Facebook support page. It does. There you go. So let's go ahead and take one out for kicks real quick. Check. And hit remove. Now you're going to be told how it's going to take all your information out, blah, blah, blah. Now you can also delete all your posts, photos, and videos that you used in relation to it. So for example, anything I shared from Syracuse.com over to Facebook. So why not? Kill it all. Remove. I think you get a message. Could take a little while. There you go. Now let's scroll down a little bit more. There's a few more things you could do. However, these are, what's the word I want to use for it? Like a broad brush. So apps, websites, and games. If you don't want to be messed around at all, you can stop interacting with apps, websites, games. Good security setting if you really want to tighten it down. And basically, although it says the settings, this setting is actually on or off. And it explains to you what you're missing, so you can kind of browse down. Apps and websites you've logged into may delete your accounts and activity. Yeah, feel free. And so on and so forth. So I'm going to close this. However, if you want to turn it off, click here. Now we're going to move over to game and app notifications. These are your notifications up here that sometimes if you quickly added an app or a game, you weren't paying attention, now you're getting notifications. This is where you find that. So it's the same setting, on or off. So if you want to shut off all your notifications for your games and apps, which obviously I kind of prefer to, but I usually pick them per app. And then finally, probably not going to matter for you, but down here you have the older versions of Facebook for mobile. So unless you're on a BlackBerry or something like that, it used to be only a single check, as you can see. Now the newer versions of Facebook that we all use and most of us are used to, this is all editable inside the settings. And this was something that they removed. It no longer applies. And that's about it. Now, if you're worried about your privacy on Facebook as well, just stop taking those stupid quizzes and answering stupid questions. But you can also go to your privacy and who can see your posts, limit past posts, who can send you friend requests. You can lock this stuff down pretty good. Make a big difference. One of the big things I'm doing with Facebook now, I've actually been doing it for a month. If somebody shares these links, I don't really care for them. So I click on the triple star that you'll see next to a post and block all from whoever shared, whatever post was shared, whatever it came from. So after about a month, my Facebook has become usable where I can pretty much go there once a day and just catch up with my friends and family and done. So there you go. Who can look up your phone number? And feel free to make sure that most of this, if you're after privacy, should be friends, friends of friends for friends requests, only me to see my friends list, who can look up my email, phone number. And I like to make sure that search engines outside of Facebook aren't linking to my profile. You can do a few other things with timeline and tagging. It's the same exact thing. Who can post on your timeline? I've got a lot of this stuff locked down, as you can see, pretty good. And you can always see what people see on your timeline by viewing it as however you want. So, as you can see, we look at mine, you don't see too many posts there. Blocking, and we're pretty much done here because we're beyond the basics that I wanted to cover. But feel free to browse through the blocking as well and check your restricted list, people whose names you blocked, etc., etc., etc. Apps that you've blocked, block pages. As I said, I've blocked hundreds of them. So there you go. That's about it. But again, the big thing is going to be down here at apps and websites. It's so easy to forget about. And feel free to clean this mess up if you have a mess. And your life will be a little better, I think, on Facebook. So there you go. As always, click the subscribe button, blah, blah, blah. Thanks for watching. See you next time.